Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Monifactory. All right, so here we are today in episode 61. And last episode we had just gotten the T5 microminer figured out and set up. And well, between episodes I did a little bit more progressing. And I'll get to each of those things as I approach them. Okay, so the first thing that one of the things I did is I set up a system. Where is it? No, that's not it. Is it? Oh, it's somewhere around here. I think it's. No? Question mark. I know it's around here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Oh, fell. So I set up a system to take our spruce saplings, which we weren't doing anything with them anyway, and that is compressing them into plant balls, right? And the plant balls then will be macerated into biochaff, right? And that biochaff will get brewed into biomass. And later on, we might need to get into bacteria, so I might need to swap things up. I don't know. We'll see how. Or I could just use a different sapling as well. We'll see. But anyways, the biomass, then, I am just pretty much distilling into ethanol. Because ethanol is a crucial component to that of... Where is it? Ethyl? Tert-butyl ether. Right, and that is used for our high-octane gasoline. Short and simple, I was having some ethanol supply issues, and if you recall, the wood vinegar method only produces 10 millibuckets per bucket. Now, I could easily just do the fermented biomass, and I don't think I need to swap over to this now, but I mean, we do get fertilizer, so that is a possibility to do that. And the ethanol would be still pretty okay. But yeah, so we're getting ethanol now for our high octane gasoline. And at this point, I also have 2,000 buckets of it because I upped our limit. So we are pretty good for a while. Oil. So if you recall, last episode we had, well, let me just... yeah, there's the biochaff producer. What's the word? Production or utilizer or something like that. It's turning the chaff into biomass. Anyway, crap. Now what was I going on about? Oh yeah, so the drills that I set up, or the oil drills that I set up, off camera, and mentioned in the last episode, you'll see that we only have one of them now because I moved the other one to the saltwater location that we had at one point. Let me turn that back on. And yeah, here we are. So this is going to be constantly drilling for the saltwater, or not drilling, but you know, kind of just teleporting really. The salt water comes into our inner tank and gets sent back to base. And then additionally, I set up another ender tank that is constantly being filled with high-octane gasoline back at the base. And then that way, we can send power around the world and around other dimensions into generators to power our miners or drillers or whatever the case may be. So that is pretty neat. Okay, so let's go back home. I don't think there's anything else up here anyway that I want to discuss. I don't think there is a question mark. Oh. Okay, so I'll have to fix this, but effectively what happened off camera is I accidentally mined the cables and interfaces, and I confused the silicon maker over here for this one over here. I wonder Okay, I don't think I still have it. If I were to ask for a processor, okay, you can still make that. Can it still make... Yes. Okay, then I'm not sure. Why there's a second forming press here and a missing face, but I'll probably come to light eventually. Okay, well, anyway, oh, yes, I did add a second extreme engine here. So we are generating, well, when possible, 64,000 some odd EU per tick, although it's more like 65,000. Whatever that number may be. So that is good. And we pretty much already set for a while in terms of gasoline. Eventually, we'll be upgrading to Gene, but that's going to be a whole other system. A whole other can of worms, rather. Nothing new in here. Okay, here we go. So, I learned how... I built the assembly factory multi-block. And B, I learned how to allow for not batch crafting. I can't think of the right word for it, but effectively we have 4 input buses down here, and you can kind of see some stuff down there. But we have buses for each type of circuit that will be utilized, like 0, 1, 6, and 4. It's hard to see up top, but you can see kind of in the circuit icon, there's a number. So anyways, there is a fluid hatch right here, right? And we're going to have recipes that have different fluids. But that's not a big deal because the way we set this up, all of the recipes will still work while sending their respective fluid into this input hatch here. So let me explain, because this was a lot for me to figure out, and I did have a lot of help from the Discord, so props to you guys on there. All right. So you can see we have kind of, well, they're subnets. We have 4 different subnets. So we have one here with red cable, one here blue, red, blue. I only made those colors, those cables colored because I wanted to make sure they did not touch. And could also use anchors, but I don't know, half measure or what have you. Anyway, so we have a system of pattern provider, interface, cable, storage bus, and storage bus. So this storage bus over here is directed at the fluid subnetwork right here. Right, so it comes down, goes over here, and that's where it deposits the fluid. And then over here, we have the fiber cable, which is essentially just providing cable power to these subnets. Yeah, so the main network comes over here, and then the main network provides the power to this, but also the fluid. And then we also have the quartz fiber up there. Yeah, we need both those there. Okay, so yeah. This will allow us to craft things and not have to store fluid in the input bus at all times. So that's pretty sweet. And then over here, nothing really too different. I did kind of reduce the medium voltage machines upstairs, and I added, I moved the one-time wires down, the 1X wires down here. I think that's it. In terms of that machine. Over here, or I need to get downstairs. Down here, though, there should be a input bus for the double bender, the double plates, for example. So yeah, just been kind of trying to minimize again our MV machines. You can see a lot of things are missing, and I still gotta take care of the rest of these. What is that forming press doing? Glass tube. Okay, that'll be another thing to get rid of. And the other thing that I can think of right now immediately, I did add super tanks, super chests from GregTech to store some of our bigger amounts of items because we were beginning to fill up on space again. over here in this section, I rather, added a greenhouse for cacti. I had to go like 2,000 meters away to find a desert. So now we're generating cactus for any green dye that we may need. Which I did kind of use the green dye for the ender tank that is moving our hog around. But all that being said, I think that is enough. I think that is all of the changes for the time being. Was there anything major done in the microminer room? No. And no. Okay. So let's move on to today. Okay. Now, I know there was something that I was trying to do last episode. Oh, right. Nuclearcraft. Okay. We need to get into that now, don't we? Okay, so let's start off with the fission reactor. Oh, we already made that, didn't we? So let's get you, right? And the quest book says that we are going to need 215 reactor casings. Now that's going to be 208 because we have 7 there already. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to take a long time. We have tungsten steel on hand. We have tungsten on hand. I don't think that will take too much time. I think most of those are just smelts or alloy smelt recipes. Yeah, you can kind of see they're being knocked out pretty quick. Okay, what next? We need reactor ports. Oh, Cryotheum heat sinks. Yes, yes. So we're going to need a canner for this. And the empty heat sink. Okay, that could just be crafted that way. Gelid Cryotheum, though. Oh, boy. So we are already having this auto-crafted in a way. Oh. Interesting. Anyway, Cryotheum. So yeah, it's gonna be hydrofluoric, and I think this recipe is still valid. Speaking of though, I didn't address it already in an earlier episode. I did make the LCR to handle the powders, and I also realized that our original blaze recipe was using this method, 10 seconds, versus the 4-second one. Although I think we're at EV, so it's gonna be 1 second. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so that is making the tungsten plates. So that shouldn't take that much time. Let's take these, and we're gonna want to auto stock these. Eventually, we're gonna want them to be made full blast. Right. So let's get the Cryotheum fluid automated words. What are words? So let's get one of you. We are going to partition you on you. Okay. Bada boom. And take our cell, pop her in right in there. Okay. So, do we have a canner recipe? We do. Yeah, screw it. Let's go with the IV. It's not like it's gonna be... Oh, that's a scanner. Whoopsies. Get that canceled. That is a canner, right? Yes, okay. Good lord, what happened? Okay. So yeah, I think some patterns got lost in translation between pack upgrades and the like. I've been noticing here and there a lot of invalid patterns. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of playing things by ear. If things pop up where it's like, hey, I need this item, then at least I'll know where to look and why. Is the bender having a problem right now, or is it just... Yeah, it's fine. It's just having to take care of so many things right now. So that's running at 2¼ seconds, making 4 plates at a time. Wait, did I upgrade these plates? They should be. Or would it be over here? Tungsten plate, yeah, okay. Some of them might not be upgraded. But I can't speak for what immediately. Okay, so still waiting on that canner. So while that waits, we want to get that Cryotheum cell, question mark? There we go. The empty frame, as it were. Okay. Active. Okay, what was the other thing that we needed for this? Oh, solid fuel cell, okay. So, fuel cell. Not too different. Okay, so we need how many of those again? 63 of the solid. Okay, let's grab that canner. And what was the other thing? Empty heatsink, okay. We're gonna need 60. Well, I guess I can make those now. They're gonna be used up anyway in a second with the Cryotheum heatsink part itself. Anywho. Do I have any empty slots? I do. So let's go here. Oh, that was quick. Okay. I think that should be fine. I don't think I need the fluid output. Okay, so HV canner. Okay, so heat, Cryotheum heatsink, bing bing bada boom, canner. Oh, look at that, I already had a canner. Okay, let's just put it there then. Okay, so 60, oop. We're gonna need a lot of Cryotheum dust, aren't we? Yeah, kind of. Okay, so that will get to crafting, and it looks like our reactor casings are kind of halfway there, a little bit. Still kind of wait on the double steel plates. Understandable. Okay, so that should be moving right along. What else do we need? Port. Now it's going to eat some of our our casing, so I'm going to add like an extra 10. Oh. Okay, looks like our tungsten reserves are depleted. So I'm probably going to have to send off another micro miner mission for the nether ore that should have the tungstate and scheelite and such. So let's see, that's nether. I think I made a pattern for this. Yes, T3 nether ores. Wait, did I not? Oh, I think I didn't get it set up because I was having issues with the terminal. I can worry about that later. Okay, so we're getting that. That's casings. Let's go ahead and put these in our bag. Grab that. Okay, so the real question is, where am I going to put this bad boy? Because the quest book, if I'm not mistaken, is saying that we're going to be building a 7x7, effectively 5x5, 5 cubed of air. Doesn't say 7x7 anywhere that I can see, but I'm assuming that's to be the case. Oh, it just said that right there. You'll need to have the exact layer on encasing to form a 7x7 cuboid shell, encasing a 5x5 space with holes. Right. Let's see if we can figure out a good spot for this. Can honestly put it in this room, although I think I want to keep that room saved for the other microminer. So you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to dig this room out over here, and we'll put this in here. So let's see. It's 2 blocks. Oops, that was not what I meant to do. Okay. Was my thing on 5x5? Yeah, probably. Okay, so I am going to figure out, let's see, 3 and 2. 1, 2, 3. Like that. Okay, I think that should be the shape that we're going to be wanting. So if I come over this way, that will be our way in. Good, good, good. Okay, so I'm going to pause here. I'm going to clean this room out, and then we'll be back, and hopefully all the other items will be good to go for us to build the reactor. Now, we're still going to need TBU. Fuel, thorium, TBU. Here we go. So thorium 232 is going to require thorium dust, and thorium dust. Oh, there was some simple way of making this. What was it? Was it uraninite? No, I think it was something more simple than that. Monazite. Pitch blend. Refined. Was it thorium that I'm thinking of? Thorium dust, I believe. Wait. On. Beryllium. Thorium dust, if we... Thermal centrifuge thorium, that's right, we get that. But what was the simple way of getting a crap ton of this? There's the heat sinks. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'll be back in a few. See you shortly. Hey everybody, we're back. So, I looked into my AE system, and apparently, I already have thorium. Yes, it turns out thorium comes from deep slate processing, which we already have been doing. Anyway, I did move the medium voltage macerator to the IV macerator, so we're getting that thorium dust that much more quickly. And I guess to another degree, there's also uraninite processing through ore processing, which we will be getting. I think I dropped some uraninite into the ore grinder. So anyway, here we have the room that is going to be used for our Nuclearcraft for the time being. And before I do forget, off camera, I did make, well, I didn't make it yet, but I did make a pattern for a cutting saw multi-block. And this is going to be used for the lathe or cutter, but particularly lathe and cutter. Well, lathe, we want to get the lathe one first, but we'll get the cutter eventually. On that same note, there's also this maintenance hatch, cleaning maintenance hatch, and we can pretty much add that to the multi-block and not need the clean room anymore. So that will be great to get rid of that clean room. I won't need it. Now, I think we're still going to need a clean room in the future, sterile clean room, but that's a topic for another day. Okay, so let's see about getting our reactor here set up. So we're gonna need our casings. Okay. So they said that we're gonna need a 5x5 inner. So we're gonna need to set up like so. Okay. So this is going to be the bottom, right? And maybe I should get some building blocks out here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the inner. Right, and then we need to put like so. Oh wait, wrong spot. Put you there. Do. Okay, so that's gonna be the start. Now we're gonna want to get our controller into position. I don't know why we really need this actually. It asks for 2 ports. Fluids, items, redstone. I don't know. But let's just go without it for the time being and see what happens. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, we're expected to do a lattice, a diamond lattice. That's the right way of saying it. I don't know. So pretty much something like so. Now we requested a mismatching amount of these blocks, 62 and 63. That's just because of the nature of the beast when you're doing a system like this. So you see there's 1, 2, 6, 10, 12, and there's 1, 4, 9, 12, 13. So 1 difference. All right. So then what we're going to need to do now is wherever there is a blue, for example, we place the hollow one, right? And then vice versa, do it like so. Is that, yeah, oh, okay. All right, so let me quickly take care of the rest of this, and I'll be back in a second. All right, we're back, everybody. As you can see, we have our reactor shaped up here. Now, I think everything is good to go. I did have an extra Cryotheum heatsink, so I don't know if that was just a matter of bad math on the request, or if we had an extra because we did something beforehand. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But so far, things look like it might be okay. Wait, interior incomplete. Multiblock casing. I don't know. Hold on, let me try something. Interior incomplete. Multiblock casing incomplete. Okay, so the interior seems fine. So I think there's something wrong with the outside. Maybe if I did like this, for example. Let's see. Let me see this reactor. But what? Let me see. In EMI. List the reactor cells in an illustrating pattern. The reactor cells at the corners and the spaces in between each one. Alternate between each row, creating a grid pattern fill. Yeah, okay. Alternating between Cryotheum and reactor cells. And the perfect. When you reset the casings you remove to access the interior along any edge or corner of the reactor. If you did not, the design can be expanded. So I'm not multi-block casing incomplete. Is it gonna want the other? Everything we have, everything that it needs, we should have. Unless there was, I don't know, something down underneath. I don't see anything that might be the issue. It's a 5x5. We'll just play things by ear. Let's just see what happens. Trying to put some TBU in there. Okay, so we're gonna need the fuel thorium TBU, which means we need the 232, which means we're gonna need a thermal centrifuge, and we're gonna want a couple of these, which the smart thing to do would be to get the thermal centrifuge multiblock, the large centrifugal unit. And that is going to look a little bit like this. Now the question is, I don't think, have I made the vibration save casing? No. Okay. So let's do this. Let's pop on up here. We're going to look into, oh, Incalloy. I don't know. Anyway, molten. So we're going to want the 14. We're going to need helium gas. Vanadium, manganese, aluminum, yttrium. Okay. So that's going to be solidified. Okay. So that's going to be 14. Now, 1872 divided by 144, that is 13. So, oops. Drop you there. Set you there. Bada boom. And I forgot, I already forgot. Okay, 14. Now this would be where I could set up this ABS to adopt the same system as our assembly line, or assembly factory. But I need to figure out a way to do it that is clean. That was 14, right? Yeah, okay. So I don't know, we'll see how things go. Okay, so in colloy, we'll just let one craft up. Although I'm wondering, what's our fluid reserves? Yeah, we should have enough. Let's get rid of that craft. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to get rid of the gas. Let me cancel that. I think it's that. Nope. Yeah. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Bing, bang, bada, boom. In colloy. And there you go. So that's going to take about 2 minutes for, was it 14 I said, ingots worth? Okay, so then while that crafts, and where are we on time? Probably about that time to wrap up. But let me see about getting this machine going. So we're going to need more patterns, of course. In colloy, we're going to need those, no doubt. We are going to need rods. Boop. And frame. Oh yes, I moved all the frames to the assembly factory, so that's pretty cool. All right, so centrifugal. We're going to want you, and then you. All right, so with the auto maintenance hatch, good. I don't think we need the output hatch for fluid, so I'm just going to keep that off and add one for you. There we go. Input hatch, probably don't need that either. Output bus, we are going to need that. So let's just knock that up to a LV. Energy hatch, let's go 4 amp. IV, why not? So then that is going to need a converter. Oop. It looks like we're going to need to automate that, that, and that. Forgot how they have little symbols there. Okay, what else? Input bus. Let's go with the medium voltage, why not? Actually, no, we're not going to need that. Let's do the LV. And that should be about all of it. So then, couple. Centrifugal multiblock. Okay, and we're gonna pop that there. Everything else should be good to go. Let's get. Excuse me. So wait, if we're having a 4 amp, then we really only need one of that. Okay, so let's save that. Now we're gonna need steel pipe casing, and we're going to need the centrifugal unit. And every time, IV uni. If anybody knows how to make the system default to the proper thing, the universal circuit in this case, that would be good to know. So let's see, can I request the whole thing first? No. So we need huge stainless steel. There should be an extruder. We're going to need the vibration safe casing. And that means we're going to need the in-colloy plates. Casing, and then where is that tool? There you are. Boop boop. And then what was the last thing? Molly B disilicide. Okay, good, we have that. Okay, so we're gonna need the spring, and that means we're gonna need a long rod, and then hammer. That's probably another thing that I want to make as a bender for long rod. Well, no, we already. No, we should be able to make. Oh no, this is the hammer, not the bender. So if I wanted a forge hammer multi-block, I would need to make another material press, which we have the pattern for that. Because only a multi-block machine can only be assigned to one type of pattern or one type of processing. So rods. No, it's like with the bending machine, there's plates. Oh crap, I can't remember. Material press. So the material press, there's the bender, the compressor, the forge hammer, and the forming press. So there's, you can only have one of those 4 types at a time. Anyway, let me go ahead and grab all of these things out of here for the lathe system. We won't be making this on camera right now, but probably either off episode or in the next episode. That being said, I'm going to request that up, and for the next episode, we'll probably get to setting that up as well. You know what? Let me pause here. I'm gonna see how long this takes to craft up. Shouldn't be that bad, but the in-colloy will be the biggest weight. And I'll probably come back when that's done, get it set up, and then we'll call an episode. Meanwhile, I'll try to see if I can figure out if that Nuclearcraft reactor needs any help. In any case, Back in a few. All right, everybody, we are back for the moment. So, turns out the reason they wanted me to make that many casings was because you have to make it a complete cube. You'll see in the quest book right here, the exterior shell must include the edges and corners. So I put all the blocks around the corners there, and now it works. Now, we have the depleted thorium TBU right here, but then we have this over here. Well, let me turn back on. It says, well, it's gone now. Okay, I have this right here. So let me grab another puck, right? I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna put that off for a second. Put that in there. Oh, it's already on. But you can see here, it's generating. Well, it was generating quite a lot of power. Put more in there. It seems to be generating upwards of like 100,000 RF per tick. It goes up there and then it kind of drops down because it's filling up. So yeah, wow, that is a lot of power it's generating. So let's see, I'm gonna have to move this. Now if I do this, is it still gonna function? Where did my TBU go? Or did it get deleted? Possibly got deleted. Put that in there. Okay, so you can see here it kind of goes up to about 184,000 R per tick. Quite a lot of power there. But we did make a big block. But I do feel like they kind of buffed things a bit. But anyway, that, well, you know, I'll take care of this next episode or between episodes. But for the time being, we have our Thorium reactor, and we're probably going to need to be making another one as well, because once we get this thorium TBU here, we break it down, and I believe we go from the uranium-233, and we're going to need uranium ingots apparently. I think this one then. And then, well, it's not showing the setup there. Thermal or Nuclearcraft and EMI seems to be a little bit broken. But we will want to make 235. And let's see, the depleted fuel is separated and a centrifuge resulting in many tiny clumps of fissile material, uranium. Okay, so we do get our plutonium through 235. So we're going to have to make another reactor, but I'll probably be making a much smaller one, like maybe a 5x5 or something like that. So it's for that effort that I will be getting some reactor parts going in between episodes. Now, before I do pop, I want to show off the centrifuge unit. So that is happily processing thorium and sending it out. Now, right now we're using the 4 hatch, but I want to bump this up to the control hatch 16. But in order to do that, all we need to do is automate this. So I'll probably get this done off camera and we'll go from there. That being said, this has been an episode. Oh, I need to fix that. If you did like what you saw, please go ahead and leave a like or comment down below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. And I will see you all in the next one. Ta-ta for now.